Hi, Naomi Suzanne from Naomi's Home Health. Going live on all of my stations, channels, social media platforms, whatever you want to call them. So I'm on Naomi's Home Health Facebook, Thyroid Group, Instagram. So if I'm looking at all the different cameras, I just want to get some messages out to everybody. So I've just not long come back from Vanuatu, which is, if you don't know, if you're not from Australia, it's a South Pacific island. It's about a 3 hour flight northeast from where I am in New South Wales, off the coast of Australia. It's a tropical island. It's really small. Still, a lot of people, like there's 83 islands, people still living very traditional lifestyles, still using natural medicine. It's absolutely beautiful, and it really, really hit home to me to see how other cultures are still living such healthy lifestyles, while us here, we've all, hospitals are full and people have got diabetes and heart conditions and having strokes and cancer and all those sorts of things. And I knew our lifestyle was very toxic, but I really realised how it's keeping us, all of us, still sort of unwell and not as healthy as we could be. I mean, they had no COVID over in Vanuatu at all for a long time. Pretty much the whole time until the vaccine rolled out, they didn't have any COVID. And when they did get it, there was no panic stations. It was like, okay, we're going to boil up some mango leaves, we'll eat our grapefruit. They're so chill. And they lost so many businesses and jobs, and through COVID, no one came in or out of the country. Nobody. So people lost everything. And then at the start of the year, they had a cyclone. So a lot of fruit and vegetables weren't available over there, which I was devastated because I just eat so much fruit for breakfast. So, and they're all still happy. They're all still like, oh, thanks for coming to our country. Thanks for being here. Thanks for supporting us. Everything is just chill. They're just walking along like, nothing matters. It doesn't matter. It's absolutely beautiful. And to understand how here, like, people are so angry and fast and why don't we have this and why don't we have that? They've got nothing there. Their houses are like the size of most of our bedrooms or our living rooms, and they've got a wood fire. They cook over fire, and they don't have all the things that we have. They walk everywhere and they just do it casually. And they're driving around and they're letting each other in, and someone pulls in front of them. They're like, oh, someone's coming front on the opposite direction on the road, and you're in the bus like, oh, holy crap, like we're gonna have head on. And no, they just move over. Nobody gives a shit. And I think that here, this is Australia. I'm sure it's, Western countries could take on some of what they do, as in just chilling out. Like, they don't get on social media and abuse each other. Like, I'm all for people having opinions on social media. But when you become an asshole about it because you think you're so damn right and you have to like name call or put people down, you're the one with the problem. Yeah, they've got a different opinion to you, but being a dick about it isn't getting your opinion across any quicker. It's not going to hammer it home to the person, like, calling them an idiot or dumb or whatever it is. So, the kids and I just really thought this is why people here are so sick. It's stress. So this is what I talk about all the time: the stress, your emotional health, your mental health. You can eat, keto, you can eat whatever, you can lose weight, all of those things, but it doesn't matter when you are such a tense, angry, uptight person. Those things matter to your health. Going to the gym and working out 3 hours and getting your cortisol and adrenals pumping that hard, it's not necessarily always the best thing for you. When you see these people, none of them are like overweight. They don't go to doctors all the time. They don't rely on someone to give them a pill for something. they listen to the people in the elders in the community, like medicine people in the community who know stuff. Like I was, driving around with a lot of, I just like love the locals. So I was driving around with a lot of them and, they talk about the things that they do for their health and they use the earth. They use the natural earth. Like this is what it's here for. Use it. But they also support each other. It's very community based. It's all about each other. If you don't have a job in Vanuatu, someone in your village supports you, or you can go and grow vegetables, or you can look after the children of the village. You are always doing something to help each other. Your money isn't just your money, it's there to help everybody in the community, and it's absolutely amazing. And this is why they don't have the heart disease. I mean, they do have illness, don't get me wrong, they do go to doctors, but they look at themselves first. They look at how can I manage this in a natural way? How can I, you know, help somebody else? They're always helping. If you go to walk across the road, they will stop for you. They're just like, yep, you come across. Like, there's no rush. Everything is on island time. And I know here, there's deadlines and we've got 1,000 things to do, but half the things we do each day, do we need to do them all? Do we need to worry about it? Do we need to buy the things that we buy? You know, like they have supermarkets and there's processed food there, but you don't see them buying trolleys full of groceries full of crap. Generally, they have one bag of stuff, and it might be a breadstick and a couple of other bits and pieces. But they've got chickens roaming around, wild pigs, like wild boar roaming around. That's their food. The coconuts, the bananas, all of those sorts of things. So their time isn't pressed. It's not constantly, waiting, like, got to be somewhere else and got to do other things. It's just chill. And this is what is so important about health is understanding where the mental and emotional and the stress is in your life so you can reduce that and not sweating the small stuff and not abusing people if they don't think your way or if they're not or if they're in your way. Like, I mean, some of the times we were waiting for our food at the dinner table when we were out for dinner and sometimes, they would get it wrong or they'd take a long time and you'd be going, like, you just didn't care. But if you were here, you'd be giving more of a shit about it. Um, you know, but it's just, I feel like we could embrace a lot more of these things to reduce the stress in our life, to reduce the toxic adrenaline and cortisol that surges through our body when we get worked up, when we get pissed off all the time, when we're in a hurry, when we've got to be somewhere. I mean, when you're in a supermarket and you're standing in a line, like if they're standing in a line, they're standing in a line. It's like, yeah, well, we'll just wait until, this person in front of us is finished. They're not getting pissed off. They're not rushing to get the next person, their groceries through. It's just so nice. They're like, they take the time to sit and chill. When do we do that? Without a device, any form of device, TV, phone, you name it. Like, drop it in the comments if it makes sense to you. Like, are these things, are we taking, is there too much importance on speed, time, all of those things? Like, let me know if you feel the same way about chilling out a little bit and learning to understand that stress is highly toxic to our life and is keeping us sick. This is why the cardiologists in this country are overburdened. The hospital system is overburdened. People go to doctors for the smallest little thing when we could be looking at how we can do these things ourselves with a little bit of natural medicine. Like, we don't go to the doctors, and if we do, it's like I find out what the problem is, and then I think, what are some of the ways I could treat this? Obviously, if it's not serious, if the kids are starting to come down with a sore throat, I don't go to the doctors. It's more about Okay, let's have some honey, some oils, and it goes away. People who say these things don't work, they bloody work because we see it here and I see it with my clients. You don't need to race to a doctor. You don't need to race straight away. Obviously, go to one and use one if you need it. But, looking at more natural ways to do things. Like we walked into duty free in Port Villa and there was just perfume and perfume and it just stunk and I couldn't stand it. The headache, the the nausea that you sort of feel, and I just thought all these chemicals and people are walking around with them all day. You don't see the local people spraying shit on them and having perfume. They don't. There's no perfume. They can't. I don't know if they can't afford it. It's just that they don't need that in their life. And one of the things that women, particularly clients that I have, when I talk about removing perfume, it's a real trigger. Some of them get pissed off. They're like, "Oh well, I don't want to smell bad, or I love this smell because of this." And it's like you are spraying one of the most toxic things on your body because you want to, or because someone gave it to you, or you're so attached to it. Why can't we be attached to our health? Why can't that be a priority? Why does, you know, us spraying something highly toxic on our body every single day just to smell nice, just so other people can make us, smell us and smell nice, even though a lot of other people are sneezing or, feeling unwell from your perfume, as long as it makes you feel good, you know what I mean? Like it's really important to look at these things and understand why you are so attached to that. Why do you need that perfume? It's not a need, it's a want and it's an attachment. And these are things that you don't see on these islands, and they are healthier. They are not, you know, having all these autoimmune disease and diabetes and whatever else. They're eating real foods. They're not eating all day, every day. They're not eating big meals, but they're eating together as a community as well, with family and sitting down and talking and helping each other. Humans are community based people. We bond. These are the things that get our happy hormones going by connection. We need to connect. When we shut ourselves off from people, there is a reason, there's a problem. So connection is super important for our health too. So looking at, all these countries that have connection, they don't use toxic products, they're not stressed, and they eat real food. Why aren't we doing what they're doing? Why? It's so basic. It's so basic that we can do these things without, having to rush to find out what's wrong with us and quick, help me. Take a step back and have a look at your lifestyle. That is the first thing that you should do. Drop it in the comments if it makes sense. If you clothes are bad for your skin's ability to absorb the energy, yeah, that's true. And if it didn't scare clothes, I'll read out. Sorry, clothes are bad for your skin's ability to absorb the energy of the universe. That is probably 100% true, but it'd be very scary for people if I wore no clothes. But like what they're wearing on islands, not on the main island of Vanuatu, but the outer islands, they're still wearing the grass skirts. They're still just, and it's warm, obviously, over there. So they're wearing the little woven grass tops, the skirts, sometimes probably no top at all, but that is a natural product on your body. So it has a higher vibration, a higher energy. I totally get what you're saying, Jaden. Thanks for that comment. But yeah, like shoes, also, we are grounding with the earth when we wear no shoes. Sunglasses are my biggest pet peeve. We are blocking our life source energy from the sun. It promotes so much in our body. It gives us energy, happy hormones. A lot of our hormones are produced through our eyes, through our skin, from the absorption of the sun, and we are blocking that with sunscreen. We are blocking that with sunglasses. You don't see not many people in Vanuatu are wearing sunglasses at all either. Their eye health is better than ours. We have very poor eyesight here. People's eyes degenerate all the time. All of these things, we do nothing that's absolutely natural and good for us. So it's time to step back and start looking at how we can do things in a much more natural way. I don't think I'll stop wearing clothes anytime soon though, because it's cold here right now, and people would be very offended if I wore no clothes. So they're the things that I just learned. And you know, even I see the kids now who they're just like, oh my God, the people in Vanuatu are so beautiful. They're so lucky to live that way. And it's true. They are very lucky. They are very beautiful people. And we need to be more grateful for what we do have. We have access to everything. Like they've had a cyclone and they don't have access to the fruit and veg that they normally would have. We can get avocado all year round here, which we love in this house. We can get the pineapple all year round, even if we have a cyclone. You know, we ship things in, but over there they manage and they make do with what they've got. We need to start looking into that and stop worrying about what we don't have and look at what we do have. So those are the things that I learned from the most beautiful holiday I just had. I'm so grateful that I got to take my family there, and I've been there before. Like that was my sixth time, but I really, really noticed this time. I noticed it before, but I really noticed their lifestyles are so much more simple, and this is why their nation is a lot healthier than we are. We are a much healthier country. They're not as healthy as they used to be, but that I feel is from Western influence. Like the having to have money, and we give them a lot of good things. Like we show them how to sustain crops and things, but we also give them a lot of bad things that I don't think that they need to take on. And what we could take on, we should take from them as much as they take from us, as in learning from them as much as they learn from us. So if you've learned anything today about this, or if it's dropped in, like I'm pretty sure we all know this. It's just really something we should think about a lot more in regards to our health and wellness. If that makes sense to you, drop it in the comments. I would love your take on what I have just said. So let me know if you're going on a holiday. If you're going to an island, go and immerse yourself in the chilled, natural vibes of a beautiful island.